At the end of 11 days of intense competition, the 40th and final game of the Men's Blind Football World Championships, Argentina against China, live from the University of Birmingham. The 2023 IBSA World Games has been a roaring success, and we've seen some incredible action in the men's tournament and a historic women's tournament as well. A record number of 228 players have participated in these championships. It all got underway last Monday with the women's tournament. Argentina won that competition. The men have done their bit as well. They've reached the final. Standing in their way is China. These sides met in the opening match in Group B and played out a 0-0 draw. Hopefully we get more goals, more entertainment, and at the end, someone is going to be the champion. It's either Argentina or China. My name's Rob Scanlon. Dixie Dean is my summariser, a former goalkeeper with England, a qualified referee who's been involved with blind football for more than 25 years. We're delighted to bring you live coverage of this event. Showpiece final with the floodlights on. Crowd gathering in the stand on the far side. The players line up. The volunteers stretch out the flags of Argentina and China. And the Argentinian players jog on the spot. The nerves rise. The pride lifts as the national anthems are fired up one last time.
Please remain standing if you are able for the national anthem of China.
Based on the noise levels in the crowd, that there's more support for the Chinese. There's a few international students here at the University of Birmingham who have decided to cheer on their nation in this final. The men's blind football competition. It's been brilliant, absolutely brilliant to have it here in Birmingham. The athletes have put on quite a show. Let's see how both Argentina and China got to the final then. They were both drawn in Group B. As I say, they played each other initially. It was a goalless draw before qualifying And Argentina seeing off Italy in the quarter-final by a 1-0, beating Colombia convincingly 3-1 in the semi-final. Earlier, Colombia was smashed 7-1 by Brazil in the third-fourth playoff. As for China, well, they nudged past Japan by a 0-0 and then drew 0-0 with Brazil, a subdued Brazil who couldn't even score a penalty. China scored 2. It meant they progressed to the final of the competition. And this is where we find these two sides, Argentina and China. Let's take a check on the two teams then. The officials on your screen at the moment. Lucio Magado is the referee, the Brazilian. Francois Carcu is his assistant. Let's start with Argentina though. In goal, number 12, Herman Mulek. Number 2, Angel Deldao, their captain. Number 4, Froilan Padilla. Number 8, Ezequiel Fernandez. Number 15, Maximiliano Espinillo. On the bench for Claudio Falco's side, it's Dario Lencina. Number 3, Mateus Oliveira. Number 10, Brian Pereira. Number 11, Ignacio Oviedo. Number 14, Noel Heredia. It's actually the same starting 5 for Argentina and for China that played out that goalless draw at the start of the tournament. Let's go to China's team then. In goal, they've got number 12, Su Huachu. Number 3, Liao Meong. Number 6, Chang Xiaobin, their captain. Number 7, Yu Yutan. Number 11, Chu Reiming. On the bench, sub-goalkeeper number 1, Wang Shiro. Number 8, Li Haifu. Number 9, Su Guanshun. Number 15, Xiao Yunhan. They're coached by Wang Huai Shun, and their guide is Li Tian. Okay, we're ready to go. Dixie Dean's alongside me. He's been across every single game of this tournament, I think, more or less. More or less. Women's and men's. Enjoyed having your company immensely, Dixie. I'm sure the viewers have as well. Offered great insight throughout the competition. And obviously, being a qualified referee, it's been very handy to have whenever we need a refresher of the rules and an explanation of things that we've seen. But who is your pick to win this one? That's the big one. Argentina against China. What do you reckon?
Well, it's a difficult one because you should say in the group stages they drew 0-0. I think Argentina have just got a little bit too much for the Chinese at the moment. The 15 up front for Argentina has got better and better as the tournament's gone on. He's a robust centre forward, and he's got a good strike on him as well. So, for me, it's Argentina at the moment. But before we go any further, I'd just like to say what a pleasure it's been doing this. I've not done it before, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my 13 or 14 days of how long it's been. I think I had a count up last night. I've done 59 games, and as I say, I've thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it, and it's been a pleasure to be here. And if I've helped out in any way, shape or form, well, that'll do me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, massively really enhanced the coverage. We've been delighted to bring it to you, streamed around the world live from the University of Birmingham, the sports campus. Pleased to say, despite the earlier forecasts, which look slightly bleak, it's actually quite a pleasant evening here in the West Midlands of England. The sun is just peeking through the leaves in the trees behind the stand on the far side. It's a bit of a breeze, but it's pleasant enough. Temperatures around the high teens, early 20s. And no rain. So the crowd are in good voice. Dixie and I are ready. The officials are ready. And the Argentinians and the Chinese are ready to compete in this World Championship final. 40th and final game of the men's tournament. Can Angel Deldao do what Sosa Gracia did earlier this week and lift the title for Argentina, or will China become world champions for the first time and Chang Xiaobin will be the man to lift the trophy? We've already seen 3 games today. Colombia, Brazil in that third, fourth playoff I mentioned. Brazil storming to a 7-1 victory, a hat-trick for Jefferson. Iran against Japan for 5th place. Japan won that one by a single goal from Kawamura. And then Italy took the lead against France, but France roared back to secure 7th spot with a 2-1 victory. It was all building up to this, though. Argentina against China. Argentina are going to kick us off from right to left in the first half. They're in their change strip of a greeny jade. That's the description we're going with, and we're sticking with it. So that's the shirts and the shorts. They've got white socks on. China in the all red with white numbers and names on the back of their shirt. Enjoy the game, says Pete the announcer. I'm sure we will. The volunteers who have been brilliant in the bright green tracksuit tops around the perimeter of the pitch as Argentina get us underway. Forward come China though. Chang Xiaobin, the captain, moves the ball into the centre circle. He's challenged by Fernandez. Fernandez, one of 2 Argentinian players who've reached for the hair dye in advance of this tournament. Yu Tan has the ball on halfway, facing his own goal. Tries to play it back into the right back position before Maximiliano Espinillo commits.
Yeah, as the Chinese lads tripped to the Argentine 15 as he's gone through there. So that's a foul and a free kick to the Argentines just outside the third, isn't it? I think. Yeah, just about.
Maximiliano Espinillo with the black hair, but on the top he's got a bordering of bright red hair, and then the top, a mohawk, is green.
He's had a different colour every game, hasn't he?
Espinillo, early chance for Argentina, shot across goal. It gets a touch off the heel of Fernandez, who can't keep it in far side. It's out for a restart to China. Early pressure though from Argentina. 35 seconds into this final, 0-0. Xiaobin finds Yu Tan. Outmuscled by Del Angel Del Dao, the captain for Argentina, trying to burrow his way down the right-hand side, but it's blocked by China, who go back to goalkeeper Su Wachu. Right-footed, he launches it. Lovely diagonal ball. That picks out the intended target, Chu Rei-ming, who's challenged just as he got into the box there. Just half a chance there for China to get a shot on goal, but they didn't manage to do so. Yu Tan now has to pick up possession deep in his own territory, and it's going to run out, I think, for a corner to Argentina.
Yep. Yeah, it's first minute into the game, and they're just feeling each other out at the moment, I think. It was a bit like this in the 3rd, 4th place playoff game. For the first couple of minutes, a bit scrappy, and then all of a sudden the floodgates opened. So let's hope we get something similar.
Espinillo from this corner. Little stab at the ball. It dribbles into the penalty area. China have got bodies back. Espinillo 1 against 4. The ball breaks loose and a chance of a shot, and a little pull was there on Ezequiel Fernandez. Fernandez tries to get to the byline and stab it in, but he can't. And it's saved by Su Wachu. It was interesting that because Ezequiel Fernandez, as he was about to let fly, looked like there was a bit of a shirt pull, but the referee had a good position. Yeah,
Francois was very close to it, and he was waving his hand saying no. So I trust his decision from there from a metre. But it's the Argentines again.
Through Espinillo, drifts towards the left wing. Challenged, out for another corner. Chang Xiaobin with the block. Argentina doing the early pressing. We've played exactly 2 minutes. 0-0 the score. We're at the University of Birmingham Sports Campus on the artificial pitch. Dark green 3G pitch with the black rubber pellets underfoot. Angel Del Dao leaves it for Espinillo. China break it up, and Yu Tan moves the ball into the middle third. Dribbles down the right-hand side, the near touchline for China. Now moves across the field. Yu Tan gliding with the ball into the centre circle. And he invites a bit of pressure on himself there, and he's challenged. Should be a restart to China. It is. There's a little tackle from Fernandez. And the ball's out for a restart to China. Su Wachu will take it. Underarms it to the far sideboard. Siabin across to Yutan. Down the right wing goes the number 7. He's forced against the sideboard. And Padisha, the big number 4 for Argentina, will roll it back to his goalkeeper, who will knock it down the right. Bounces into the China half and picked up nicely by Fernandez. And just as he was getting to the 6-metre spot, he was challenged firmly but fairly. Back with Padisha, scoops it from the centre of the field. Espinillo can't latch on to the ball forward. And forward come China through Siabin. Runs into 2 Argentinian shirts. And now it's Fernandez. It's game going back and forth in the early stages. Argentina with a loose pass, allowing Yutan to break forward. Goes down the right-hand side, little slalom inside. And he runs into trouble, big trouble. Padisha, tallest man on the field by quite some distance. Long brown hair, long down the left-hand side. He tries to knock it, but it's broken up. And here's Chu Ming, number 11 for China. Back into the centre circle he goes. Moves over to the left wing. All 4 outfield players for Argentina back in defence. So Chu Ming just goes for goal from fully 15 metres out. It hits Padisha. Rebounds up against his eye mask. And the play is going to stop here for an uncontested drop ball.
Yeah, it's the ball's come back up into his face and has knocked his eye shades back up onto the top of his head. So Francois starting with the drop ball.
Froilan Padisha. That's what he likes to do. Scoops it long. It bounces on the edge of the penalty area. Bounces all the way through to Su Wachu. With a throw-in style delivery forward. Padisha's there to mop up and give it back to his goalkeeper Mulek. Herman Mulek in the silver short-sleeve goalkeeping top. He's over-hitting that one. Espinillo can't keep it in. So no clear-cut chances so far, Dixie. 0-0, 4.5 minutes played.
No, not as yet, but it's starting to settle. We've seen a little bit more of China in the last 30 seconds or so. They've started to get forward a little bit, and the Argentinians will start passing it round, I'm sure.
Ezequiel Fernandez with the red boots on, bursting down the right-hand side. He just stood on the ball at the vital second, allowing Siabin to get back at him. And now in the left-back position, Yu Tan can maybe knock it long. No, he chooses to run it forward, up to halfway. He's blocked, so retreats. Yu Tan, now challenged by Espinillo. Espinillo does well, wins it back, and it's Padisha inside the centre circle. Another scoop from the big Padisha to Ezequiel Fernandez. And he runs out of space down the right-hand side and concedes a restart to China, who are preparing their first change of the game. We've played just over 5 minutes. It's 0-0 in the World Championship final. Yu Tan is heading off. He's had a number of early touches in this game. Li Haifu, the number 8, comes on.
Yeah, I think China will be quite pleased with the way they started, really, because they've settled into it. It's a relatively new territory for China, getting to world finals and stuff. So they've settled down, and they're starting to play their football now.
But they've just lost it to Espinillo on the edge of the area. Espinillo misses his kick, and it's away by China. Scrambled clear. Back though with Fernandez down the right wing, gets a nudge in the back. Goes back to his feet. Fernandez wriggling his way towards the edge of the box. Away come China. Chu Ming in the middle third, down the China left. Knocks it along the far sideboard, and there's no one there to pursue that, and it's out for a restart to Argentina, kicking from right to left in this first half.
Yeah, China leaving 3 players at the back at all times at the moment makes it difficult. When they do win it, they ain't got no one to pass it to. They're probably just saying, right, let's keep it tight for the first 5-10 minutes and build on that and see where we go.
Froilan Padisha's long diagonal ball came to nothing, so it's back with China from the restart, but they're under pressure here in the right back position. Li Haifu has Angel Del Dao for company, and Del Dao, the Argentinian captain, is trying to hurdle his way towards the D, but he's blocked off. But Ezequiel Fernandez with a burst forward, and then the smash clearance from China hits their own player, allowing Espinillo to latch onto the loose ball. He's just inside the Chinese defensive third. Espinillo against the near sideboard now. Both hands on it. The number 15 offloads it. And now gets it back. Espinillo loses the ball as he runs into heavy traffic in the centre of defence for China. Xiabin down the left-hand side for China. Nice turn in field through the legs of Espinillo. But he's crowded out. Froilan Padisha there. And there's no getting past him at the moment.
Yeah, again, he was very isolated when he was on his run. He had no support at all. And he was up against the 4 Argentinian guys around him, and there was just nowhere to go. So hopefully they'll start to push 1 or 2 players up in time and get some more support onto the ball.
Just past the midway point in the first half. It's 0-0 in the final. But here is Xiabin, who can't quite keep it in, but wins a corner for his side.
The Argentinian bench disagree with that decision. What a surprise. Oh, what happened there?
Well, there's a bit of an injury to Ezequiel Fernandez, who suddenly
collapsed,
put himself flat out on his back. I think he's probably going to be okay. They're actually making a change here, Argentina. Maximiliano Espinillo has to make sure he doesn't tread on his teammate there as he makes way for Brian Pereira.
But
well, he's coming off now, Fernandez. Yeah. So Pereira's on, as is Noel Heredia. We've got a nice shot of the international students from China watching on.
Yeah, it was very strange, the 14. He walked over, he was all fine, got within the yard of the corner flag and just dropped to the floor.
There's a real big crowd, actually, away to the behind Argentine's goal.
Yeah, there's quite a few Chinese supporters up on that bank, isn't there?
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they score. The noise that they make. Li Haifu will take this corner. He runs it back towards the middle third. Now checks in field. He's challenged by Del Dao. Angel Del Dao, the Argentine captain. Back to Padisha, a little 2-metre pass. Padisha now rolls it side-footed into the path of his goalkeeper, Mulek, who whacks it downfield, hits the near sideboard, picked up by Chu Rei-ming. Chu Rei-ming angles his run across to the far side. Still with the ball at his feet, with the blue trainers on. Chu Rei-ming, the number 11, trying to dart down the far sideboard, but realises there's not a clear path to goal, so passes it back, and now a diagonal pass across from China is squandered and picked up. Here comes Heredia for Argentina, and he's tackled as he was making decent progress there. And forward come China in the form of Li Haifu. A cluster of bodies to get through, and he can't. So here comes Pereira on as a sub for Argentina. Here he goes over the halfway line, down the left wing. Pereira might be in here, but he got the foot. Yeah, the ball was just stuck under his feet a touch there. Got a bit stodgy towards the end. And timeout called. 0-0. We've just got over 6 minutes left of the first half of this final.
Yeah, timeout to China. Yeah, it's been a good start. Both teams seem to have settled. A little bit of a strange substitution from Argentina, taking off their most potent goal threat, but I expect he'll return. Perhaps he's gone to touch up his hair and get some more colour on it, perhaps.
There speaks a jealous man.
Yeah, it's been a good start from both sides. Yeah, as I say, Argentina settled the best right at the very start of the game, but I think China have come into it a little bit and they're starting to run with the ball. And as far as I can see, they could really do with getting 1 or 2 players up in support of the player who's got the ball, or at least getting a little bit closer to them. They're a bit isolated up front at the moment.
Both sides cancelling each other out at the moment, as they did in their Group B game, which finished goalless. If this one has the same scoreline, then we will go to penalties to decide who wins this tournament. But there's plenty of time left in the game. Of course, the clock stops when the ball's out of play, and we've just had a timeout, so no further time lost as Su Wachu for China, the goalkeeper in the yellow goalkeeping jersey, black shorts, yellow socks, rolls the ball out, and forward comes Li Haifu down the left. That's a good pass back. Obviously got the call from Chang Xiebin, the captain, but he runs into trouble and then concedes a free kick. A little nudge there from the skipper, and the first foul from him.
Yes, yeah, he's wrapped his arms around him a little bit, stopped him from running away.
So second foul of the half, though.
Yes, I don't think there's going to be any problems with the foul count at the moment. So Argentina are going to send away again, but he's kicked it straight out for a goal clearance at the other end.
I seem to recall this being a pattern of the first game between these sides. Froilan Padilla going long from the back for Argentina, and it not really paying off.
I'll take your word for it, Rob.
Yeah, well, they're continuing with the tactic. He's knocking it long quite a bit, but often it's not reaching its target. Lovely evening sunshine poking through the leaves on the far side of the pitch. Glare down the lens of the camera as China try and build an attack. A pass from Li Haifu to Xiebin. He's blocked off by Padisha. Padisha goes back to his captain, his goalkeeper Herman Mulak. Mulak's clearance is right-footed, it's all along the ground. And only finds Li Haifu. Drifts into the centre circle and twists back and thinks about running down the right-hand side, but Argentina's so well organised, and outfield players know exactly where they need to be, and they break up this attack. Pereira for Argentina, the number 10. Got 3 red shirts for company on the far sideboard and can only squirt the ball infield. And China can clear their lines through Lao Myong. And Myong wins a free kick as he was clipped as he motioned forward. So just over 4 minutes left of the first half. Neither keeper have really been called into action.
No, they haven't had a shot to save, but there's been plenty of action in and around the goal area, but nothing actually on goal at all. I'm sure it'll all settle down, and we've got substitution coming up for Argentina in a short while, I think.
But at the moment, the ball's at the feet of Li Haifu in the middle third of the pitch, closer to the near side. Number 8 for China with a short sleeve shirt with the thermal underlayer below it. Now picks out number 6, Xiebin. Xiebin, mazy dribble, nearly gets through. His last touch was a bit heavy under pressure from Padisha, and it went all the way through to Mulak. But you just heard the sort of crescendo of excitement in the stand there, as it looked like some nifty footwork from Xiebin was going to get him clear. Argentina wastes the counter-attack.
Yes, this must be the only form of football in the whole wide world where when he gets excited you want the crowd to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because obviously if any noise from the crowd players can't hear the ball, and
Change them for Argentina. Brian Pereira, the number 10, makes way, and the return of Ezequiel Fernandez, who's got the red mohawk style hair, so it's a red peak, a mohawk all the way down the middle of his head.
Yes.
Shirt untucked, red shoes on.
Yeah, he's striding purposely.
There's a change
forward.
also for China. Yu Yutan is coming back on, the number 7. Chu Rei Ming has made way.
Oh, oh.
Slightly sloppy from China at the back there, but they're going to get away with it. Suwachu claims the ball inside his goalkeeping box.
Yeah, there was a bit of a coming together between a Chinese and a Argentine end just outside the penalty area.
Lee Haifu under pressure from Fernandez loses it. Fernandez somehow keeps it in right against the far side board, close to where the corner would be taken, and then scoops it back to Del Dao. Del Dao runs into trouble. Has to try and regroup. Wide on the right. We're deep in Chinese territory at the moment, and it's inside the penalty area now, but it's with a China player, Myong, who runs it clear. Man with the orange boots loses it inside the centre circle, and a shot is deflected. Comes in from Iridia, and it's safely in the palms of Suwachu, who bowls it downfield, looking for Yu Tan, who can only concede a restart to Argentina. Still goalless here, 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
Another substitution just about to take place in any minute now for Argentina.
Froilan Padisha from a central position just inside his own third. Scoops the ball again down the left-hand side. Fernandez goes to ground inside the box. No penalty. Fernandez has a shot. And it just fades away from the left-hand post. A sprawling Suwachu. Happy to see that ball drift out for a China restart. But that's the best chance we've seen of the game so far. It was all thanks to Ezequiel Fernandez's strength. And then as he shaped to shoot, he just hit it with the outside of his foot, slightly off balance, and it was always fading away. As off comes number 14, Iridia, and he's replaced by Maximiliano Espinillo, who returns to the pitch.
Yeah, he's their best goal threat, in my opinion, for Argentina. And number 15. He's a very strong lad.
Here come China, down the left. Siabin. Diagonal run. Then puts a foot on it and is tackled. And it's forward by Argentina, over halfway. Picked up, though, the loose ball by Siabin. And here he comes. He's away from a couple there, then treads on the ball just as he was getting into the final third. Down the right he went, and he may well have won a corner for his side here. Yeah, the last touches of the Chinese captain, and it's going to be a restart to Argentina, but not before a timeout. So just a half glimpse at goal really for Ezequiel Fernandez with that shot wide of the left-hand post. But Dixie, so we'll see this chance here for Fernandez. Yeah, it started just wide and it seemed to sort of drift away slightly.
Yeah, it just faded even further away from the goal, didn't it? Yeah, like at the moment, China are breaking, but they're only breaking in very small numbers. They're not really getting up to support the man on the ball very much, and it's making it difficult. And the ball just keeps coming straight back at them all the time. But defensively, they're sound. We've seen them before. They're very mean defence. They don't give much away, but they're just lacking a little bit up front. And I think that the Argentine players are just a little bit more aggressive on the ball than what the Chinese are. When the Argentines are slapping in the tackles, there is you can see it's a physical tackle, and they're pushing the Chinese back.
Herman Mulek with this restart drops it at the feet of Froilan Padisha, who gets out of his own defensive third. Central position. There's that little lifted clearance forward, but picked off by China, who can break here through Lee Haifu. Up against the far sideboard, loses it to Fernandez. Fernandez then treads on the ball on halfway and then whips a ball to the near side of Espinillo, who will be first to this. Espinillo loses it himself to Siabin, who's now up to halfway. Siabin right in the centre of the field. Now goes across to where all the Chinese supporters are gathered in the stand, but dwells on it, and it's taken off him by Espinillo before he's helped out by Siabin. Lee Haifu now. back with Argentina. Tackle came in from Fernandez, who offloads it. A short pass backwards to Padilla, who's going to retreat all the way back and knock it to his goalkeeper, Herman Mulek. Long ball. Does pick out his man, Fernandez, who tries to spread it across goal to Espinillo. It bounces and goes out for a restart. I must admit, I am getting déjà vu from the first game. It does feel very similar. 20 seconds left of the first half. It's 0-0 in the final.
Yes, it's they're cancelling each other out a little bit, aren't they? Let's hope in the second half the Chinese are a little bit more expansive, and that'll open it up at both ends a little bit.
Well, at the moment, it looks like it might just be one goal in it. Whoever gets the first one may well go on to win this game, because these sides are very, very evenly matched.
Yeah. It's attack on defence, and China, as I said before, China are very, very mean defensively. They don't give much away, and they're quite content to sit in there and frustrate the Argentines and just attack with one, basically.
They've got a corner, but there won't be time to do anything with it. That is the end of the first half of the World Championship final here at the IBSA World Games, live from the University of Birmingham in the West Midlands of England. China and Argentina, 0-0 in the group stage game, 0-0 at half-time in the final. No way through, no clear-cut chances for either side. Both teams will fancy their chances, though, in the second half of going back with the trophy. It is so close. It's going to be tense in this second half. This means a lot to these two countries. Argentina 0, China 0. We're going to have a refresher on the rules during the break, but don't forget to join us for the second half as the Chinese players wave to the masses of support, the students that are around the perimeter fencing here at the sports campus. Looking forward to the second half. Let's see if we can find a winner. Argentina 0, China 0. Bye for now.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football and judo. IBSA anti-doping app has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA anti-doping app. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
Welcome back to the IBSA World Games 2023, live from the city of Birmingham. The final of the men's blind football competition. Half-time score: Argentina 0, China 0. Very little in the way of goalmouth action in a pretty edgy first half from both sides. Both well organised, both disciplined. China certainly enjoying the larger portion of support in the stands and on the outer perimeter fencing as well. And we cut to that wide shot, you can see the stand pretty much packed on the far side, predominantly with Chinese supporters in, and then away to the right hand side of your picture, being waved to by the China players, a number of international students studying here at the University of Birmingham have come down to enjoy this Friday evening football. We have China taking on Argentina in the final. We've had 3 other results today. Started with Italy against France. France ended up finishing 7th in the competition after coming from behind to win 2-1. Then Japan, through their captain Kawamura, beat Iran by 1-0 to secure 5th. And then really whetting our appetite for some goals in the final. Setting us up for a fall. Brazil thrashing Colombia by 7-1. An incredible scoreline. Jefferson with a hat-trick. Jadiel Suarez with 2 as well. An incredible performance against Colombia, who were run ragged in that game. Brazil finished 3rd. They get the bronze medal. Silver and gold very much up for grabs, though. Argentina against China. 0-0. Nothing to separate them at the break. Dixie Dean is alongside me, a former England goalkeeper. Worked for many years at the Royal National College for the Blind as well. My name's Rob Scanlon, delighted to bring you coverage of this final. 40th and final game of the men's competition, spread across 11 days. Argentina's women won the historic first women's competition, Sousa Gracia lifting the trophy. But the men's final could go either way. China will kick us off in the second half. They're going to go from right to left in this second period of 15 minutes. They're in the all-red kit. And they start the second half as they began the first, with Su Wachu in goal. Number 3, Liao Myong. Number 6, Chang Xiaobin. Their captain. Number 7 is Yu Yutan. Number 11, Chu Reiming. For Argentina, they start the second half as they started the first. So number 12, Herman Mulek, is their goalkeeper. Number 2, their captain, Angel Del Dao. Number 4, Froilan Padilla. Number 8, Ezequiel Fernandez. And number 15, Maximiliano Espinillo. Early decision for referee Lucio Magado to make. Dixie, what's he decided here?
Well, I think he's going to just give a drop ball. The ball seemed to be trapped against the boards, and there was no way out. And yeah, I was right. I thought that's what he was given. No player was at fault there at all. The ball just got stuck between the legs and everything. So he's decided, right, well, I wish they wouldn't do that. He's put the ball down to push the players back 5 metres away from it, and just leaving 2 players on the ball, and they nearly dived into each other. But it'll be a drop. He's moving the player back again. Oh, God,
so the Chinese players are back inside their own penalty area, and the free kick, the drop ball, is going to be taken right on the edge of their defensive third, close to the near sideboard. Referee about to drop the ball in between Chu Reiming and Maximiliano Espinillo. And it's won by Chu Reiming, who turns to face his own goal, passes it back to Xiaobin. Xiaobin is under pressure from Espinillo. Espinillo could win this. He's got 4 red shirts if he turns towards goal. And he does lose it to Xiaobin once again. The left-back position for China. Here they come through Chu Reiming. Marauds over to the far side and gets down the right. Hits against the far sideboard. Loses possession to Del Dao. Angel Del Dao, the Argentinian skipper, pokes it forward. It's going to go into the Chinese defensive third, controlled by the 2 feet of Liao Myong. But Maximiliano Espinillo snatches the loose ball. Pushed up against the sideboard on the far side, in front of the stand with the blue seats, many of which are occupied. Spread by Del Dao to the near side. Hits the board. Fernandez picks it up and then can't keep it in play. Out it goes for a China restart. 0-0. We've played just under 2 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, he just lost his balance there a little bit and swiveled and missed the ball. Again, China are very defensive and basically only attacking with 1, and makes it very difficult for that one player without any support to gain any ground.
Chu Rei-ming in a central position, on the edge of his defensive third, tries to embark on a run down the left, but he's blocked off by Fernandez. And now the tall, strong figure of Padisha can roll it back to his goalkeeper, Herman Mulak. His silver goalkeeping kit with the blue trim gives it to Padisha again. We've seen this play before. Goes to the centre and then knocks it diagonally long to the right-hand side where Fernandez was waiting but couldn't reach it. And it's back with China. Lau Myong. Nice dribble over the halfway line. And then he's chopped down by Espinillo. And that's the first free kick of the second half.
Yeah, it was a clear foul by the Argentine on the halfway line. He's just taking his legs away from him. So, as Rob says, that's the first foul of his second half. And which has been going, for nearly 3 minutes now. It's very similar to the pattern of the first half, to be honest.
So, free kick to be taken from inside the centre circle. A few centimetres inside China's half. Xiabin runs it forward, challenged. The ball rolls to the near sideboard. Chu Rei-ming with two hands against it. A big looping ball back to Xiabin, who runs to the far side with the ball at his feet. Tackled by Del Dao. Del Dao facing his own goal, goes to ground. Padisha tries to sweep in and knock the loose ball away, and just about does enough to force China back, all the way back inside their defensive third. Here they come though, through Liao Myong. The orange trainers on, so the white trainered Yu Yutan on the far side. Now he moves across here to the near touchline. Yu Yutan, that's a good pass. Into the centre circle, Xiabin, into the area now, Xiabin! It's wide of the near post, but that's the best opportunity that we've seen from China. It was their captain Chang Xiabin collecting the pass inside the centre circle, running down the right, getting into the area, but his shot was just off target.
Yeah, just run away from him right at the very last end then when he was just about to set himself for the shot and the ball just run away. But Argentina on the attack.
And it's a good run here, and as the ball squirms loose from Del Dao, Espinillo tried to latch onto it close to the goalkeeper, but couldn't quite get his foot around it. And it'll be back with Su Wachu for China. Little underarm throw, gently into the path of Yu Yutan. Spreads it to the left back position, Chang Xiabin, who's just had China's best chance. And he's beaten one challenge. He's gone across, he's gone into a bit of heavy weather there, and the tall figure of Padisha breaks up the play. Now Fernandez. Fernandez down the left wing for Argentina into the area. He's tackled by Myong, and it's a fair tackle, and it's a corner to Argentina, who are about to make a change here as they search for a breakthrough. 0-0. We've played 4.5 minutes. I'm just looking at that chance again from Xiabin. Did everything right. Yeah. Just stretching for that final touch.
Yeah, just run away from him, didn't it? Yeah, it's off balance. So they're taking number 15 off again.
Espinillo makes way. Here comes Ignacio Oviedo. Yeah. Dyed silver hair. Number 11, shirt untucked, goes over to take this corner. He's there with his captain, Angel Del Dao. Three-man China wall, taken on by Oviedo. Gets into the box, but is then nudged off the ball, and it's pushed away all the way downfield and out for an Argentine restart. Bowled away by Mulak, misses its target. Siabin down the left, really opens up his stride as he tries to keep that one in. He's done well. Ball's still alive. It's with Padisha at the moment, but he's right in his own third. It's now on the far side with Del Dal, who moves it back to Mulek. Argentina start from their goalkeeper. Long diagonal clearance, looking for Oviedo. Oviedo drags a shot wide of the near post.
Yeah, he's at a poor angle there to get a shot in on goal, but it was an effort at least.
Chu Rei-Ming at the other end. Is this game just opening up a little bit? It's still 0-0. We've got 9.5 minutes left of normal time. Here's Chu Rei-Ming. Sideboard creaks and moves under pressure from the three players competing for the ball there. And it's squirmed clear to Oviedo inside the centre circle for Argentina. Little drag back, gets him a bit of space, and then a scooped pass to the right. Ezequiel Fernandez will chase it, and then he'll go clattering to the ground, but he'll pick himself up and go again. He'll shoot, and it'll be blocked. Oviedo latches onto the loose ball, far side. But now China break it up as Del Dao commits a foul on Yu Yutan on halfway. And China will have an opportunity to take a breather and launch an attack from this free kick. The artificial light of the floodlights sort of becoming more obvious. A few shadows appearing on the pitch as the evening sunshine drops down below the line of the trees over on the far side.
Yeah, that challenge was a bit agricultural, wasn't it? He sort of just chopped him down and right on the halfway line. As the referee's checking one of the two players. I think we've got a sub for China and one for Argentina.
So firstly, Argentina replace Ezequiel Fernandez, the number 8, with their number 14, Nahuel Heredia. So China have a sub ready to come on in Lee Hai-Fu in your picture there, but at the moment
it's number 11.
Chu Rei-Ming is coming off, making his way along the near sideboard. So Chu Rei-Ming off, Lee Hai-Fu comes on for China. The score is 0-0. It's the final of the men's blind football World Championships here at the World Games. No way through yet. Lee Hai-Fu will have this free kick and he'll run down the right wing. He'll keep the ball in play and he'll roll it back. Siabin forced to retreat into his own half, then offers it down the far sideboard. Lee Hai-Fu drifts infield, 15 metres out. He's got all 4 Argentinian players to get through and never looked likely to. Argentina stand tall once again and strong in defence, well organised. Both sides very, very well disciplined at the back.
Yeah, you get the feeling they're both scared to lose, aren't they?
Well, China won't mind penalties. They beat Brazil 2-0 in the semi-final, so they've got recent experience of handling the pressure. And of course they've got this extra support from the crowd. You can see dotted along the outside of the arena here.
Yeah, there's a fair few Chinese directly behind where we're commentating from, and I'm sure they'll make a lot of noise when and if there is a Chinese goal.
Lee Hai-Fu has possession, but he's inside his own half, switches the play from the right wing to the left wing, and Siabin at the second attempt brings it under his control. He's got a bit of space down the left. He cuts infield, runs into Heredia. Argentinian sub via Padisha. Gets it back to goalkeeper Mulek. Back in the Chinese defensive third, but forward comes Yu Yutan. Nice run. Nice bit of skill with his left foot. Yu Tan. Again blocked off just as it was starting to look dangerous. Del Dao this time doing the work for Argentina. And Lau Myong now with possession in the middle third. Gets into the Argentinian third. And then a deflection on the shot, and that could have landed anywhere. It goes wide. But good play by Lau Myong. 0-0, 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. A change for Argentina. Maximiliano Espinillo is coming back on. It looks like he's taking the place of Ignacio Oviedo.
Yeah, they're going to restart with a corner to China. I do think the 15 for Argentina is the most likely character to break this deadlock. He's a very strong player, and if he gets on a run, he's going to take some stopping. And yeah, so see what China have got to offer here from this corner.
It's on the near side, the China left. Broken up quickly by Espinillo. Runs it over halfway. Collects his own pass forward. Espinillo down the left wing. It's in the penalty area now. He charges down a clearance. Doesn't land kindly for him. It's mopped up by Suwachu. Underarm throw to Siabin. Up to halfway. Down the left side. Onto the near sideboard he goes, and then switches it to the far side. Hits the sign for IBSA World Games 2023. The final of this blind football competition. It's 0-0. And both sides, they just can't get an opening at the moment. It's so closely contested.
Yeah, that was a foul. The Chinese didn't say Voigt when he went in for the tackle on the Argentine 15, and Francois given a foul against him for that. And we got a free kick on the halfway line, basically, and the China are just about to make another sub as well, I think.
Both sides readying a change. First it's Argentina taking off Heredia. Jogs off the number 14, replaced by Ezequiel Fernandez. And then at the other end of the pitch, Chang Xiabin, the captain. He's been very good, I think, for China so far today. Chu Rei-ming comes on for him. Xiabin, you could tell how much work he's put into this game. Just breathing heavily as he left the field.
The Argentine 8 is a workhorse, isn't he? The amount of work he gets through.
Here's Espinillo with a shot from long range. It was right from the dotted line that marks out where the attacking third is for Argentina, but it was screwed wide from Espinillo at the left-hand post. But here come Argentina through their captain, Del Dao. Another shot from long range. That's asking a lot to find the target from there, and it misses by some distance. Still 0-0. I mean, that's just an indication of how frustrated Argentina are, and shooting from long range at the moment. What on earth was that from the Argentinian goalkeeper Herman Mulek, who collected a scooped ball forward, and then there was no follow-through from Lau Myong, and Herman Mulek went down. What on earth was that?
He went down like he'd been shot, didn't he? I don't know what on earth he was thinking all there. Yeah, it's they are starting in danger of cancelling each other out here. Who's going to be first to blink? Who's going to put an extra body up front and try and get the goal?
Chu Rei-ming down the left for China. Beats one challenge, but not a second. Espinillo down the right wing, having his shirt tugged a little bit, but Espinillo gets into the box before he's blocked off. Del Dao for Argentina in the middle third. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left. China break things up once more and run forward down the right-hand side by Li Haifu. Oh, that's a heavy challenge on him from Padisha, and the decision goes against him. He doesn't like it, but he really put his body into Lee Hai-Fu there, and concedes a free kick. It's right over by the far sideboard, just a few centimetres away. It's only a shade inside the attacking third for China, but Padisha with a really heavy tackle there.
Yeah.
Body check.
Yep. Definite foul. They're having a bit of a timeout, which is probably a good thing because it'll cool any hot heads on the pitch. It'll cool them down a little bit, but definite foul. They've got nothing to argue about there at all, the Argentines. As the crowd behind us break into song. So what we got, 4:39 left. Have we had our goal quota this afternoon, Rob, in the fourth place game?
Don't worry. 8 goals in one game. Been spoiled, haven't we?
We have somewhat. Sometimes finals are like this, though, aren't they? You know, you sort of, no one wants to lose them, but it's who's prepared to win it is the thing. And at the moment, they are cancelling each other out. I think China, they have been the most defensive of the two sides, and it'd just be interesting to see if they just pushed on a little, if they just all pushed up 5 yards and take the game to Argentina a little bit more, if it would open up for them. But I suppose the coach is thinking to himself, well, I've got a 0-0 at the moment and I've won a penalty shootout, that'll do me. But it's a bit of a dangerous game, isn't it? You know, trying to play for penalties.
Lucio Magado, the official, about to get play back underway. 4 minutes 39 left on the watch. Is there going to be a winner in this game, or are we going to go to penalties? There's a 3-man wall assembled by Argentina. This free kick for China. Yu Tan is over it, along with Lee Hai-Fu. Left for Lee Hai-Fu. Ball across isn't a brilliant one. Chu Rei-Ming's got work to do if he's going to engineer anything out of this. It's right by the near sideboard. He's under significant pressure. And a few shrill blasts of the whistle. And that, for me, almost sums up the game. Just a deadlock.
Yeah, they were trapped against the boards there, and that's the way the game has gone, unfortunately. So we're going to have a drop ball.
Look at the crowd in the backdrop, though. I mean, it's brilliant. There's loads of interest in this. China have got all the support. But
yes, they certainly have, haven't they? And we did hear that Argentine terrestrial TV are taking this live, aren't they?
Oh, yes, been beamed around the world. There's been lots of interest in this from all the continents. Whole competition. 11 days of the men's blind football tournament. The 40th and final game of the competition. And nothing between the teams at the moment. Drop ball, which is won by Espinillo, who tries to burst down the right-hand side. He's away from 2 Chinese players. The last defender blocks him off. And Yu Tan calmly now runs the ball over halfway. Yu Tan bends his run, tries to move down the right. He finds his path to goal blocked as well. Yu Tan now prods it back into his own half. Liao Myong's got work to do here because he's under pressure from Espinillo. Against the far sideboard, Liao Myong tries to scoop it away from the attentions of Espinillo and does brilliantly. Forward he comes. Gets up to halfway. Lovely pirouette turn there before he's tackled by Del Dao unfairly. And the shades are off. It comes to the green-haired Maximiliano Espinillo.
So we'll have a drop ball again.
3 minutes, 39 seconds left. Drop ball on halfway. I did say it. If there's going to be a win, it will just be by the single goal, I think. And with the time left in the game, you fancy whoever scores first wins.
Yep.
And the ball's with Padisha. Diagonal pass is intercepted by China. Chu Rei-ming down the left. Long levers. Very tall number 11. Loses possession to Fernandez, and then Fernandez is blocked off by Yu Tan, and it's a volley infringement and a free kick to Argentina inside the middle third.
Yeah, he didn't say volley again, so that's an international word you have to say if you're going in for a tackle.
Spanish for I go.
Just to let the player know who's got the ball, that there's someone in front of them, and go round them.
Espinillo then with this free kick. Tries to get in. Bombards his way through into the area, and then a shot screwed wide from Fernandez. He did well to get a touch on it, really, because it was Espinillo who had burst into the box, somehow bulldozed his way through the China defence, and then the ball squirmed loose, and Fernandez close in, really close range, but as I say, he did well just to get a touch on it. 3 minutes remaining. Argentina threatening here in this final. Padisha with the ball down the right hand side. It's going to trickle all the way through and out for a restart to China. Valuable seconds ebb away. Su Wachu for China, the goalkeeper. Underarm throw to Chu Rei-ming. Over to the right side now. Li Haifu loses it to Del Dao. The Argentina captain, it clips his heel. So Del Dao decides to start again from inside his own half, and then a little clipped ball forward. It's not going to reach an Argentinian target, and through and out for a restart. Sub being made here by China. Captain's back on, Chang Xiabin. To recap that latest chance, there's not been many in this game, but this was all thanks to Espinillo.
He's like a raging bull, isn't he?
He is, and his last touch was a slightly heavy one. It just got away from him, and it meant that Fernandez had an opportunity, and it was just caught his standing foot, the toe of his standing foot, as he swung a left boot at it. If he'd caught it with his left foot, he probably would have scored. But as it was, the ball squirmed wide. Xiabin for China in the left back position. That's a nice glide away from Espinillo, but then he overruns it. Through it goes to Mulek. Mulek heaves the ball into the path of Fernandez. Good first touch. Cuts infield, and he's blocked off. That line of China defenders, all in a straight line. The red shirts, so well drilled. Chu Rei-ming gets into the middle third, then retreats. Over on the far sideboard, we're running out of time here. Minute 40. Chang Xiabin, we know what he can do with the ball at his feet, but he's tackled well by Maximiliano Espinillo. Got 4 red shirts for company. He's squashed against the near sideboard by Xiabin. Offloads it, and Xiabin clatters into Fernandez. The ball goes loose to Espinillo. Espinillo tries to dribble through 3 red shirts, can't do so. And forward come China, Yu Tan. He's challenged by Fernandez. Yeah. The ball just being contested in midfield. No one can get through here. That's a decent pass by Fernandez. It's asking a lot of Espinillo, though, under pressure from 3 red shirts. It's a restart to China. We're inside the final minute now. It doesn't look like there's going to be a winner at this stage. It really doesn't. Not in normal time. These two sides are just too well matched.
Yeah, they're well balanced with different attributes, really. I would say that Argentina are a little bit better going forward, and China are a little bit better defending.
But what about this for a mazy run from Chang Xiabin? Could he be the hero, the captain, right at the end? No, he's blocked off by Padisha. Padisha turns away. The big defender for Argentina won't allow Siabin to get back at him. The ball's on the far sideboard, right on halfway. Good turn from Padisha. Padisha suddenly finds himself on the edge of the area. Padisha, can he shoot? He does. It dribbles straight to the goalkeeper. Wachu, underarm throw. This is the last chance for a winner. Here's Yutan. Yutan, he's in the edge of the area, and then he completely gets a rush of blood to the head and shoots well wide.
And that was with 2 seconds to go, and I can't believe Argentina are making a sub with 2 seconds to go. Or are they? Have they changed their minds?
Well, I'm just looking at the Argentinian guide on this side here. Marcelo Gonzalez. He's got his hands on his head. He is puffing out his cheeks. He knew that was a golden opportunity for Yutan to break Argentinian hearts and send China home as world champions. Because he did all the hard bit.
Yeah.
But I just think the excitement suddenly caught up with him, and he snatched at the shot and screwed it horribly wide.
Yeah, I'm at a loss here. They've called a timeout. They're going to do a sub. They've got the ball in their defensive third. And they've got 2 seconds to go. Just, what do they hope to achieve by this? Yeah, time the goalkeeper's picked it up, it's going to be time.
Ignacio Oviedo comes on for Argentina. 2.2 seconds left.
Well, this would be the steal of the century if they score from this. No, the ball can't travel that fast. He's just going to launch it down the middle, isn't he? He's just going to launch it as hard as he can. Make sure you get a bounce before the halfway line, Sunshine. There's a bit of pushing and shoving between the 8 and 11. He's trying to get the gap down the middle, I think. I think that's what the plan is. We did see it in one of the earlier, in the ladies section, a goalkeeper do this.
Herman Mulek bowls the ball out.
And that's it.
That's it.
It didn't even make the other end, did it?
No.
That was a strange decision by the coach. Well, we go to penalties.
0-0 in the group stage, 0-0 in the final. Nothing to separate Argentina against China. So we go to penalties.
Be the best of 3 to start. Then it goes to sudden death, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see sudden death penalties here as well, Rob, to be honest.
China won their semi-final on penalties, beating another South American opponent in Brazil. 2-0 from spot kicks. Argentina haven't had a penalty shootout in this competition. They progressed through the quarterfinals by beating Italy by 1-0 and then overcoming Colombia by 3-1. But Argentina against China, who look to have changed goalkeeper, unless he's just coming on to guide the players. Dario Lencina would be a bit of a change of plan. I'm not sure yet. We'll keep an eye on that one. Herman Mulek's still out there having a drink, so no, I think he might just be guiding the players back on, Dario Lencina. But we await to see. So the officials are gathering inside the centre circle. They're going to toss a coin for which end the kicks are going to be taken from and who takes the first one. I would imagine, Dixie, that Argentina will possibly want to kick it, have the penalties taken from the far end, the left-hand side, the coffee shop end, if you like.
That's what
is that what you were calling it? The way to our left, because to the right of the screen is where there's the mass ranks of Chinese supporters who have gathered on the embankment away to our right.
Yeah, I think you're spot on right there, Rob. There's, must be, 200, 300, 400 Chinese supporters behind us. So Argentina would prefer to go down the other end, I would have thought. But we'll see who wins the toss.
Two captains shaking hands with the officials once again. Chang Xiaobin for China. Angel Del Dao for Argentina. They couldn't be separated in the group stage, couldn't be separated in the final. Lucio Magado has the coin. It'll be interesting to see what each team does here. Players are trying to keep warm in their huddles. There's the China flag being held up by some of the international students studying here at the University of Birmingham, one of the finest universities in the country. It's a beautiful red brick building away to our behind those supporters. It's a stunning building, actually, a massive campus here which spreads over
they're going down the far end.
A mile or two. And
I think, no, they're not. They're turning this way now. They're confusing me. The referees didn't indicate. Usually they'll point in one way or the other, but they didn't this time. And it's confused us, but we're going to go up to where the Chinese supporters are.
And listen to the roar.
I guess the Chinese won it.
No change of goalkeeper for either side. So Herman Mulek is going to face this first penalty. The Argentinian keeper. He stretches his arms up, puts his gloves on the crossbar, extends his body, then does a little chin up as well, just sort of flexes his muscles. Herman Mulek. He's a tall man.
Yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he?
And the first penalty is going to be taken by the number 3 for China, Lao Myong. So 3 regular penalties and then into sudden death if the scores are level. Big stretch from Herman Mulek. His legs wide apart. Flexing out the hamstrings. Now the quads. Big roll, of course, for the guides here. Li Tian for China. Tapping on the post. Lao Myong to take this first penalty for China. Orange trainers. His right foot on top of the ball, lightly tapping, compressing the ball. Lao Myong, right-footed. It's tipped wide.
Yeah.
I think he got a hand on that.
Yeah, he definitely touched it. We heard them, the little touch on it, and he's pushed it round the post. Good save for the keeper.
To the keeper's right-hand side.
Not sure if it was going in from that angle. You couldn't really tell because he's leapt across to the right. So whether or not it was going in before he touched it or not, I don't know. But he put a touch on the ball, so we'll have a look from again.
Lao Myong went right-footed, got good power. I'm not sure he did touch it in the end. I think it might just clip the outside of the post. Disappointment for China. Missing their first one.
Hard to tell. Well, it's wide in any case, so.
Maximiliano Espinillo is first up for Argentina. He's guided by Marcelo Gonzalez.
And this lad can hit a ball. He really can hit a ball.
Another right-footed player. China missed their first penalty. Shootout to be the world champions. Here's Espinillo. Misses. Oh. Misses. Yeah. Goes the other way this time to the keeper's left. The keeper didn't really move. Not sure if he knew it was definitely going wide, but it did go wide.
Yeah, it was well wide as well, wasn't it? It wasn't even close. Yeah.
Still 0-0.
Yeah. No one wants to win. Rob will still be here at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Longest penalty shootout I was involved with was 27.
Don't say that. Why are you bringing that up?
That was England against Colombia in Cadiz in 2002, I think it was. That was a penalty shootout and a half.
It's Li Hai-fu for China. Their second penalty. Both sides missed their first attempt. The spot on the edge of the D. 6 metres from goal. Li Hai-fu with this penalty. Again, right-footed. A hush descends here in Birmingham. Li Hai-fu.
Yes,
He's squirmed in. Mulek got a touch, but it wasn't enough with his right hand. And the ball nestled in the bottom corner, and China have the advantage.
Yeah, advantage China. And the pressure's on number 11 now as you watch a penalty again. It's gone to the keeper's right. He's got a good hand down there, but there's a little bit too much power on there for him.
Ignacio Oviedo started the game on the bench. Didn't play that many minutes in the match.
No, he didn't. But he's got a nice hairstyle.
Number 11 for Argentina. China have scored their second penalty. They lead by 1-0. Lots of photographers gathering behind the goal. Camera lenses pointed at Ignacio Oviedo. Right-footed.
Scores.
That was a great penalty. He started it down on one knee, quickly sprung to his feet and delivered a low shot to the keeper's right, who didn't react in time. Suwachu was beaten. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that was a good pen, that was. I'll tell you, he drilled it into the keeper's right-hand corner and gave him no chance whatsoever. Oh. Yeah, there was no way the keeper was getting down to that. Well, not with his hands. He might have got there with his feet. But, so, 1-1.
Chang Xiaobin, the China captain. Very important third penalty. If he misses and Argentina score, they win. If he scores and Argentina miss, China win. Chang Xiaobin for China. Blue trainers, another right footer. Up against Herman Mulek of Argentina. China's captain. What can he do here? Oh, he's not happy with something there.
Yeah, something's disturbed him there.
Just to add to the pressure there, Lucio Morgado is now checking his eye mask.
Yeah, we're going to have to go through the whole process again. Obviously something upset him and it caused a break in his concentration, so some of the Chinese fans up on Henman Hill, as we called it in earlier parts of the week. Well, we had to call it something.
Chang Xiaobin then for China, the captain. Li Tian, the guide, indicates where the right post is. And now the left. Chang Xiaobin for China. The captain misses.
Wide.
Well wide.
Yeah, that was probably the scruffiest penalty we've had so far today. Right, okay. Number 14's coming up for it. Is he going to be the hero for Argentina? And stick this away. And the world trophy will go back to Argentina alongside the ladies' world trophy.
Noel Heredia for Argentina. Number 14. Bright yellow trainers. Sets the ball. Has two hands on it. Leaning forward. Suwachu bounces up and down on his goal line. Noel Heredia for Argentina then. Crowd absolutely silent. Heredia. Here we go. It's in! It's in the top corner!
Oh, that's a great
Argentina are the world champions!
Oh, that's a fantastic penalty with that pressure on him to go that high He's gone in the top right-hand corner as he's looking at it. Top left as a goalkeeper. There's bodies all over the floor. Oh, there's cheers down the other end as well. Well, it wasn't a classic final by any means, but the record books won't show that. They'll just show that it's a win for Argentina.
What a way to finish it. Bows from the Chinese players who get a warm ovation from their supporters on the far side. They've contributed to a very tense, nervy and close final that went the distance, went to penalty shootouts. Argentina prevailed 2-1. Heredia with the winning spot kick, high into the top left corner. No chance for Su Wachu. And it means that Argentina are double world champions in this blind football competition for 2023. Incredible. The women and now the men have risen to the top.
Yeah, I think just about, well, the women definitely deserved it. They were by far the better team in the women's section, and I think the Argentine men also deserve it. Over the whole tournament, I think they've played quite well. They've been solid, and
there's tears as the players embrace.
Yeah.
Players down on their knees as well. The Argentinians are absolutely deliriously happy.
Yeah, especially the ones who missed the penalties. The Raging Bull, number 14. No, it wasn't 14. What was his number?
Espinillo. Yeah. It was a miss from him, but Ignacio Oviedo scored before Nahuel Heredia hit the winning penalty. Some winning penalty as well.
Yeah.
The players now shaking hands, China and Argentina. Final was played in a good competitive spirit. There's a feisty third and fourth place game between Colombia and Brazil, but I think respect between these two teams who were very, very evenly matched. Couldn't be separated in the group stage, 0-0, or in the final, the same scoreline. But Argentina have prevailed on penalties, and they are the world champions. And even the big man, Froilan Padilla, the big number 2, tears in his eyes, wipes them away. And, emotions running high. The coaching staff are absolutely bouncing as well. Claudio Falcao is thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So Argentina, double champions, the women and now the men.
Yeah.
And the trophy presentation will be taking place very shortly. The first, second and third place podiums are out. So it's Argentina who are the winners. It's China who finished second, Brazil third. All three nations are going to the Paris Paralympic Games in 2024. And that will be interesting to see who prevails there.
Yeah, out of the three countries that are going to line up on the podium here, you'd be brave man to bet against any one of those three picking up the trophy in Paris in early September next year as well.
Argentinians gathering in a huddle, bouncing up and down, singing, jumping for joy. Photographers take photos of the winning moment.
Yeah.
And now applause to the stand on the far side in the evening sunshine here in Birmingham. A 2-1 victory on penalties for Argentina, and applauded by the supporters from China. Got a few neutrals in on the far side as well, but a nice ovation for the champions. There he is, the coach, soaking up every minute.
Yeah, he's well happy, isn't he? Can't say I blame him, man. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah. So trophy presentation coming your way very shortly after Argentina beat China by 2-1 in the shootout. Didn't go to sudden death. We thought it might, especially when Dixie started talking about long penalty shootouts of years gone by.
Yeah.
But look at that embrace there from members of the Argentinian coaching staff and Captain Del Dow. That's a prolonged exchange, that, and clearly a meaningful one. He's on crutches.
Yeah, he's had a protective boot on all tournament, and he's been coaching from a bar stool the other side of the fence. So he's obviously been in some sort of pain during this. But it'll ease the pain for tonight, that's for sure.
More singing from the Argentinians. Well, this tournament started 11 days ago. 40th and final game. Wasn't a classic. 0-0 the final scoreline. But maybe we should have expected that, given that these sides cancelled each other out. In Group B, it was a tough group, that, because China were there, of course, Argentina were there, Germany, not a bad outfit, and then of course the host nation England, of which quite a bit was expected. England didn't make it through. China and Argentina did. Argentina beating Italy by 1-0 in the quarter-final, setting up a semi-final victory over Colombia by 3-1. China, well, they were so hard to beat and so hard to score against. I mean, Argentina only conceded 1 prior to this game. China didn't concede a single goal in open play in the entire tournament. 0-0 against Argentina, 2-0 victory over Germany, 1-0 victory over England, 1-0 over Japan, 0-0 against Brazil, 2-0 victory in penalties. Before this 0-0, they lost the penalty shootout on this occasion. But wow, talk about an organised defence.
Well, we did say during the commentary that they were very well organised at the back and not very adventurous going forward, and that's something they're going to have to address before the Paralympics, because going to penalty shootouts all the time is, it's not an ideal way of winning the game. It's a bit of a lottery when you get to penalties, to be fair. So that's something for them to go and work on over the next 11 months. See if they can get their strike rate a little bit better. But all in all, yeah, it's been a great tournament. Weather's not been too bad. We've had 2 really wet days, but the rest of the time it's been quite dry. The players on the pitch have been pretty well behaved, really. We've had 1 or 2 instances with the coaching staff that have rather let the side down, but other than that, it's disciplinary. It's been pretty good.
Told that discussing the importance of family in the huddle at the moment, how important it is, and you look at Fräulein Padisha move to tears, the number 4, sobbing as they put their hands in the middle. Take a moment to savour this incredible victory.
It's all very emotional in there, isn't it? Yeah, but that's the emotion you want to see, not the other emotions.
Argentina know how to win big tournaments, and they know the temperament that it takes and the togetherness that it takes, whether it's the sighted team, the men's blind team today, or the women's blind team the other day. They've just got that winning mentality and a real togetherness. They will fight for everything, and that's where the outpouring of emotion comes from. Very proud nation. They've come a long way, obviously, to take part in this tournament. And they'll be flying back this weekend.
Let's hope they don't fly back as quickly as what the Argentine girls did, because they flew back at 2:30 the next morning, 5 hours after they left the ground. Yeah, unbelievable. Breaking into song again. And
in their role as the champions, campeon.
Santa Fe flag comes out.
Commiserations to China. We should reflect on their achievement in this tournament. Quite often in global tournaments in the blind football, they've been sort of third and fourth, and very near but not quite enough. Same story, you would argue again, perhaps, but they're going to be a threat at the Paralympics next year because they're just so hard to break down. And they do have threats going forward. Chang Xiebin, I thought, was good on the counter-attack for China. They're perhaps missing that one person to just unlock the door.
Yeah, but they've come a long way in a short time, China, to be fair. 20 years ago they didn't have a team at all, so they sent some coaches from China around the world, visited training camps in England, in Argentina, in Brazil, all over the place, took all the ideas back with them, picked the best ideas that they saw and created a team, and they created a fine team, and that will only get better. As I say, they look a young side as well, and they're going to be around for a few years. And,
confirmation of the results on finals day, the final Friday of this competition, day 12. There are 4 matches on the agenda. Firstly, Italy-France, competing for 7th place. Really on the game other than that 7th place, really, because, say, France are the host nation for the Paralympics next year. Italy couldn't qualify. Italy did take the lead. France came back and won by 2-1. Then it was the turn of Iran against Japan, and that really did have something on it because both teams knew that if they did finish 5th, then there was a very plausible opportunity for them to qualify for the Paralympics next year, given that there's an event going on in Santiago, South American competition taking place in November. Now, for example, if Chile win that competition, then they will go to the Paralympics, and neither Iran nor Japan would have gone. But Japan winning that game, thanks to their captain Kawamura, with a brilliant free kick routine. It means that should the likes of Argentina today, or Brazil, or Colombia win that competition, then the final place at the Paralympics goes to Japan, and their celebrations were pretty heartfelt. Iran were devastated. They knew what it meant. And then there was the competition for the 3rd place, the playoff, and Brazil just ran riot, basically. They were 3-0 up at half-time. Colombia pulled one back. That just seemed to annoy Brazil, who then capitalised and scored 7. Yeah. Jefferson with a hat-trick, absolutely on fire. They were sensational. There was a couple from Suarez as well, Jardiel Suarez. Colombia were a bit ill-disciplined. They conceded an 8-metre penalty in the first half due to accumulated fouls. And, well, that whetted our appetite for the final, but I did precursor it by saying that China and Argentina had cancelled each other out in the group stage. That's what happened in the game. Chances were few and far between, but Argentina held their nerve in the shootout. Oviedo and Heredia with the penalties to secure a 2-1 victory despite Li Haifu finding the back of the net. It means that Argentina are the champions and China finished second.
Bravo, Leo.
We've got a live message from the coach.
Te extraño un montón. Para vos, te lo regalo para vos, Leo. Futbolero, es tuyo. Gracias. Papá, Chelo, mi señora, mis hijos. Vamos, viejo. Bravo, Leito. Para vos, Leo. Gracias, viejo. Está emocionado. Bien, viejo.
So the medal ceremony will be starting again in the next couple of minutes. Patience in the stands.
And sinks to his knees momentarily there, hands on his knees, and then gets another hug. The amount of effort and the work that will have gone into this tournament, the preparation, the organisation, the selection, of course, and getting it right, which he has done, and understandably somewhat overcome.
All right, the presentation party seem to be ready. It's hope it's not too much longer before we get proceedings under the way.
So there's a few individual awards. The goalkeeper of the tournament, which you would imagine goes to China's Su Wachu, considering he hasn't conceded any, but we'll see.
Well, yeah.
Top scorer in the tournament as well. I'm seeing Brazil did their best to try and put Jefferson up for that award, but we'll see what happens. There's the best player of the tournament, and there's a fair play award as well before Argentina get their hands on the team trophy. Presentation party getting themselves ready over on the far side of the pitch by the sideboard. Volunteers not far away as well, just out of your picture.
No.
They've been brilliant.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job, haven't they, Rob? All week they've been here, and it's not so bad when the sun was shining, but, the first Monday it rained, and the first Friday it poured, and they were out there and they were still smiling, and I think there's around about 400 volunteers, not only on the football, but all the sports dotted around and up at the village, and they've been happy and helpful, and nothing's been too much trouble for them.
Well, reminder that there was 400 sighted and visually impaired volunteers working across the games this year, so it's a huge collective effort.
Yeah, they've done very, very well indeed, and as I say, they always had a smile on their face, and they're only too willing to help out. And they helped out doing, sort of some of the requests were very strange, but they still carried them out with a smile and good grace. So, and without those volunteers, we don't have a tournament. It takes a lot of people to organise something like this, and if all those volunteers had to be paid, there's no tournament. It's as simple as that. So thank you very much, volunteers. It is appreciated.
Bit of a chill in the air in the evening here in West Midlands, so the Argentina players just zipping up their tracksuit tops. Presentation party ready to present the individual and the collective awards. Argentina players just gathering on the near side, still hugging each other and reflecting on tonight's glory. Amazing that the women won theirs, and then the men's have matched their achievement. That's the Brazil team in your shot at the moment, behind the placard to say that they finished third in these games. See Jefferson getting congratulated on the left of your picture there after his incredible hat-trick earlier on. What a performance that was.
Yeah, Jefferson's back. He's been out for 2 years with an ACL, I think. I think it was an ACL. 2 years he spent out of the game, trying to get fit again. And he come back with a bang in the third place game. Scored a hat-trick, and he was amazing. Some of the goals, absolutely incredible.
Bear in mind, prior to that one, Brazil had only scored 3 goals from open play in the tournament. They were held to a 0-0 draw in the semi-final against China, and then unleashed fury on Colombia, winning by 7-1 to finish third. Still probably below the target they set themselves ahead of this one, but I'm sure they'll fancy themselves in the Paralympics, particularly if they can keep Jefferson fit. Jadiel Suarez, as I mentioned, scored a couple. Casio Lopez with a goal as well. Thiago Silva popped up with a goal, but it was Jefferson's day. Time to introduce the presentation party, and it'll be handing out the awards here in Birmingham. Ilgar Rahimov from IBSA, he's the president, Mr. Rahimov, so he'll be there alongside the IBSA treasurer, Igo Matsuaki. From IBSA's football committee, Elias Mastoros, he's the chair of the IBSA football committee. IBSA board member Bardino Seixas, along with Sandro Di Girolamo, the FISPIC president. From Birmingham City Council, representing them, Gary Peel, president of Skylight Consulting, one of the main sponsors here, Toshiki Habutsu. And from British Blind Sport, the chair, Sally Barker, I should say.
Yeah. Well done, mate. That's one of the referees just coming over. We've had a good bit of banter up in the village all week, and if I've criticised one of them during the commentary, they all know.
Reminded of it.
Yeah, they all know, because they come and see me at breakfast. Oh, I don't think that decision was wrong. But it's been good-natured banter, and they haven't minded at all.
A word on the officials then. I mean, rotated for each game. Mix of Stuart Winton, Herman Olebrano took charge of the third, fourth game. Lucio Magado and Francois Kirkot for the final. Tom De Bruyne from Belgium earlier on. Rodolphe Bonin for the Iran-Japan game.
I think there's a group, or a team. I think there's 26 referees for the blind who've done various roles, some on the pitch, some more admin roles and looking after the teams on the sidelines, which is...
Well, you've refereed. I mean, it's easy for me to say that it's a hard job, and I can appreciate why it is a hard job, but you've been there, so why is it? What makes it difficult? What things have you always got to factor in? Because it's not, just your eyes that you've got to have on everything, it's your ears as well.
Yeah, and probably the hardest thing is being on the pitch with the player, because normally with futsal, the referee's not on the pitch. He's on the sideline. But with blind futsal, you're on the pitch, and what you've got to remember is you're thinking of the safety of the players at all times, and you've got to have eyes in the back of your head, basically, because you could get a player could run into you from behind quite easily if you're not alert to that. So that's difficult. The recognition of what's a foul and what isn't, because there's obviously you've seen it, there's a lot more contact than ordinary football, and a lot of it is just trying to find the player, feeling for a player, and it's recognising that as opposed to what is a foul. So we've got the referees going on now, so it looks like we are making progress. There is a posse of them, isn't there?
Yes, all of the officials from the tournament making their way onto the pitch.
I think
not just the on-field officials, of course, it's the timekeepers, and it's a whole team behind the team.
Yeah.
Well, it's a formidable wall they've lined up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
No getting past them.
No.
Right on the edge of the penalty area. The line of officials.
But
so the three teams are back out. China have gone in and put on tracksuit bottoms and tops. Argentina have found a flag from somewhere. It's a warm ovation for the officials. Light fading here, and it's Friday evening in the West Midlands of England. Presentation ceremony coming your way. Brazil third, China second, Argentina first. You can hear the strains of Coldplay. Paradise being played out.
The women's was Snow Patrol.
So the goalkeeper of the tournament, the first award. And as expected, it is Su Wachu. Didn't concede a single goal from open play in the entire games. 6 games, No goals conceded.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Pretty impressive.
Many congratulations to Su Wachu for China. Of course, goalkeepers are cited in blind football. But again, we've said it a million times, not an easy job at all. So to go the entire tournament without conceding, considering they faced Brazil, England, Argentina twice. Well, that's some achievement. Top goal scorer is the next award.
Paul Yobbo from Italy. Right, well, I'm not surprised. I haven't kept a check over the scorers really, but Paul's very strong and very popular amongst all the players, and he's a nice lad. Evidently, he's a bit of a singing sensation in Italy and does a lot of the reality TV programs over that way. Yeah, so well done.
Holds the medal aloft. Paul Yobbo, the number 7 for Italy, scored earlier in the match with France and picks up the top goal scorer award. Some achievement. What a shame we're not going to see him at the Paralympics next year.
Yeah. Yes indeed.
Next award is for player of the tournament.
Oh, how'd you pick this?
Here we go. It's Espinillo.
Yeah.
Maximiliano Espinillo from Argentina, crowned best player of the tournament.
Yeah, the Raging Bull.
The man with green and red on the top of his hair picks up the award.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that.
Big smile on his face. Maximiliano Espinillo is the best player at these 2023 IBSA World Games in the men's blind football tournament. And he holds the medal aloft, led off by Herman Mulek, the goalkeeper.
He's well pleased with that, isn't he?
He is. Absolutely great moment.
It's just on Sky.
Fair Play Award coming up now. It goes to Thailand.
Well,
they're not here to receive the award, unfortunately, so it's been picked up on their behalf, but Thailand pick up the Fair Play Award.
Yeah, that's Ilis Mastras. He's the chair of the IBSA Football Committee.
I haven't been here for the entire tournament, but in the games I have seen of Thailand, they do play it in a really good spirit, and they're the ones to pick up the Fair Play Award. So Thailand will have that to take home.
Here comes the biggest group of any of the officials. This is going to take some time to get through, isn't it?
So Lucio Magado is the first referee to be introduced. He officiated the final and did a good job. Probably not the, in terms of ill discipline or anything like that, or, trying to keep tempers down. There wasn't too much in it, was it, in terms of the final? So I would imagine he probably quite enjoyed
officiating. Yeah, it was quite an easy game to referee, really. There wasn't a lot going on in there, and what was going on was all in front of you. The fouls they gave were all straightforward. Nothing really to miss, and they did a good job. I think a good indication of a referee, how good the game he's had. Can you remember anything that he's done? And if he can't remember anything the referee's done, he's had a good game. Because then, they're there to facilitate the game, not to be the game. And I think that's where a lot of referees go wrong.
Nice camaraderie between the officials and their red tracksuit tops as they walk out to collect their certificates to acknowledge their big part in these games.
I have been invited to the referee's party after, so I can't have
Oh,
been
right.
too rough on them.
No.
You know, they said, "Oh, come on up to floor 10." So.
Oh, everyone head to floor 10 then. You've given the game away there. Now, the great thing, of course, I mean, stating the obvious here, but obviously they're from all four corners of the world.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's a real coming together, a real mix. Different cultures and...
male and female.
Yeah, it looks a really good group.
Yeah, from everywhere. And dotted all around the world. I couldn't begin to tell you how many countries they're from. But it looks like they've run out of certificates. I'm not surprised, but I'm sure they got plenty more. And they'll get the certificates to the ones who haven't received one.
It's across 4 continents. That's where the officials have travelled from. So a huge collective effort. And well done to all the referees and officials for these games. Certificates in hand. 10th floor party incoming.
I don't know if I will attend. They might want me up there to kill me or something. Who knows? They're a good bunch, to be fair. Right, who do we get next? The bronze medal holders, I would have thought.
The medals being carried on a tray with the trophy. Time to crown the 3rd place team. Bronze medals for Brazil.
Well, they're not used to this, I can tell you. You know, a lot of countries would be absolutely delighted to be going up and getting a bronze medal. But Brazil aren't used to it. They're usually going up last to get the gold one.
Coached by Fabio Vasconcelos. Their guide was Edson Lacerda. And the bronze medal going over the neck of Jefferson as we speak. Gets a handshake. The Brazil squad, Mateus Costa, the goalkeeper. Fellow goalkeeper Luan Lacedi. He was their captain as well. They had Cassio Lopez, Nanato, Jadiel Suarez, Thiago Silva, Jefferson, as I mentioned, Jonathan Silva, Maicon Santos, Samir Santana, not to mention the backroom staff who include obviously a physio, a doctor, sports science. They will all receive a medal, a bronze medal, here at these IBSA World Games. Reminded that Brazil will be competing in a South American tournament that gets underway in Santiago, Chile in November. They are one of 7 teams to have qualified so far for the Paris 2024 Olympics. France, the host nation, will be there. Morocco, Turkey, China, Argentina, Colombia and Brazil.
There's a coach getting his award. Ex-goalkeeper for Brazil from many years ago.
Played against him, didn't you?
Played against him, yeah.
Good keeper?
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Yeah, nice lad he is too. Very polite, very humble. Quite a backroom staff they've got, isn't it?
Yes. Bronze medals have been handed out. 3rd place then for Brazil. So often the champions. But not on this occasion. They still get a very warm ovation from the supporters here in Birmingham, which they acknowledge with a wave and a clap back. Time to present the silver medals. I think we're going to get a big roar here.
Yeah, I haven't looked outside the tent to see if the crowd is still behind us, but
here we go. Silver medal to China. China flag held by the squad. Silver medals go on. China, coached by Wang Huishun. Their guide was Li Tian. The players, goalkeepers Su Wachu, who won the Goalkeeper of the Tournament award just a few moments ago. Fellow goalkeeper Wang Shiro. The rest of their squad, Lao Myong. Their captain Chang Xiabin. Number 7 was Yu Yutan. Chu Rei Ming. Li Haifu, who scored the penalty in the shootout, but it wasn't to be for China, losing by 2-1. Su Guanshun and Xiao Yunhan were the remaining members of the squad. China comes second, silver medal, after losing the penalty shootout to Argentina here in Birmingham.
And they're going to go back to China and say, we never conceded a goal. We've come second. How'd you work that out? That's a pretty mean feat.
So I've got a little tin. I think it's those butter biscuits, you know. We got a tin of those earlier in the tournament. Very nice they are as well. Local delicacy, I'm told. Someone's giving it a bit of a rattle. So.
It won't be gold in there, that's for sure. You can just see the moon poking through the clouds on the. Yeah. The temperature has certainly dropped here. It's we've had some real sweaty days in this tent that we're in, but we're not having a sweaty time now.
So China's players and backroom staff collect their silver medals and a little trophy as well for finishing second in the men's blind football competition. Chinese flag held proudly and a wave to the supporters. They were backed by a good number in the stand and on the embankments here at the university. The international students often don't, of course, fly back to their home countries during the break. As domestic students go back home. Some stay. And it meant that numbers were swelled for the final when word got round that China were going to be competing in it. But they lost out to Argentina.
They break into song again. It doesn't surprise me. They're always singing.
So Argentina collect their gold medals. They were well coached by Claudio Falco. An emotional message from him post-match. Guided by Marcelo Gonzalez. Their squad, goalkeeper number 12, Herman Mulek. Dario Lencina, a fellow goalkeeper. And the outfield players, captain Angel Deldao. Froilan Padisha, the big number 4, who was an absolute rock at the back. And as the full-time whistle went, he burst into tears. It meant so much to him and the rest of the players, like Ezequiel Fernandez, Maximiliano Espinillo, who won the player of the tournament, Mateus Oliveira, Brian Pereira, and then the two heroes of the penalty shootout, Ignacio Oviedo and the winning penalty taker, Noel Heredia.
Well, they've all got their awards now, I think.
So the national anthem of Argentina will now be played. And I think the emotions are going to rise again. Go. A few more tears there. Adisha just about holding it together. Time to present the trophy. Whether it's Leo Messi in December, Sosa Gracia for the blind women earlier this week, or Angel Del Dao, Argentinian captains are getting used to lifting global trophies. They know how to win football tournaments on the world stage, and they hold it aloft. Argentina, champions again. Angel Del Dao lifts the trophy above his head, bounces up and down, and the players sing and dance behind him. Argentina, 2023 IBSA World Games men's blind football champions. A clean sweep by the men and the women. Proven winners. Great scenes of celebration. Dixie, as I say, they know how to win. They know what is required to get the job done. They've got enough flair in there, but they just know how to grind results out as well.
Yeah, they do. They're a good side, and they got a couple of really world-class players in that team as well, and surrounded with very good players. A couple of world-class ones and 4 or 5 really good players. And that's what it takes to win a World Cup or World Championship. And they seem to be able to do it in all formats of the game. So fair dues. The ladies were outstanding, I thought. Yeah, they were just head and shoulders above anything else in the ladies section. And the men well deserve to be picking up their trophy from this section. So yeah, really good, really good.
And China players still out there. They go across to acknowledge their supporters and give them a wave. Argentina posed for a team photo in front of the board that crowns them as IBSA World Games champions. Gold medals around their neck. Players lock arms and pose with the trophy just in front of the board on halfway. It says 2023 IBSA World Games Birmingham blind football. There's the trophy, there's the winning team. It's Argentina, it's their year, and they'll be difficult to stop at the Paralympics next year.
It'd be interesting to see if Brazil get it going earlier in Paris. they left it too late in this tournament and peaked in the third, fourth place playoff game rather than the semi-final. Hey, Mr. Wynn.
What's up?
Cheers,
Officials coming over.
Yeah,
well done to everyone. It's been a huge collective effort from officials, players, coaches, volunteers. But it's Argentina who are singing long into the night. Full-time score 0-0 in the final. But Argentina winning the penalty shootout by 2-1 to be crowned the champions.
That's excellent, and it's lovely to see. You've got volunteers running out the way because the Argentines decided to do a lap of honour.
So congratulations to Argentina. You say doing a lap of honour, running round the pitch.
I was getting a little concerned whether or not there was a sighted person leading them running around the pitch. But I can confirm that there is a sighted person leading them. I think that's why the volunteers are running out the way. I thought they were going to get bowled over, but yeah, everything's okay.
Right, time to say goodbye. Many thanks to Dixie Dean, who's summarised for each and every one of the games at the women's and the men's competition here in Birmingham. Argentina crowned champions of the women's tournament. Argentina crowned champions of the men's. It's a clean sweep. Great moment for this proud South American nation. Many congratulations to them. China gave it their all, but it's a penalty shootout victory here at the IBSA World Games. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage across the fortnight. It's time to say goodbye, but don't forget that blind football is a growing sport, progressing really, really well. The standard is increasing year on year. Historic first women's tournament here at these games. So if you're interested or you know someone who has a condition with their sight and you think they would enjoy football, then please seek out your local club wherever you are in the world and get involved in the sport, because it brings joyous scenes like the ones we're seeing now with Argentina and China celebrating a wonderful achievement on the global stage. Dixie's having a chuckle because the Argentinian players have all run towards the far sideboard and then all collapsed in a big collective heap of joy. So time to say goodbye from Birmingham, and I'll see you again soon. Argentina are the champions. It's bye for now.